Hey everyone, this is Gary Smith. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about the importance of purpose as it relates to how you approach your career, your finances, and your life. Today we're going to be talking about an existential and identity crisis and how purpose is the answer. So stay tuned. Are you facing an existential or identity crisis in your life? Today I want to talk to you about how having a purpose in life can change everything. You see, our society is so fast-paced today that many people are just caught up in this tornado, this whirlwind of day-to-day activity. We're like hamsters on a wheel. We think that we're being productive and achieving by being busy and being overwhelmed all the time, but we're really not making a lot of forward progress. In some cases, we're actually moving backwards. Stop and think about it. Have you had situations in your life where you find yourself living a busy life? There's a lot of activity, but at the end of the day, you're just sort of sitting there saying, well, yeah, so what? You get up every morning and you sort of muddle your way through the day, and at the end of the day you go to bed and you wake up the next morning exhausted and full of anxiety, and yet you just repeat that process day after day after day. Have you ever sat back and thought, why am I here on planet Earth? What is this journey called life supposed to be about? Do you find yourself asking yourself questions like that and rolling those things over in your mind, or maybe being in a situation where occasionally at least you say, my goodness, there's got to be more to life than this? If you find yourself in those kinds of situations, then you need to go on a journey of self-discovery to find your unique purpose in life. But there's a couple of problems with that. The first is that most people aren't willing to take the time and invest the effort to discover their unique purpose in life. And even if they are, number two, they don't know where to begin. So why is finding purpose so critically important? And why will having one change things for you? Well, first of all, purpose helps you to define what's most important to you in life. If you were to be able to project yourself forward to the end of your life and then look back and say, what are the most important things to me that happened to me during the course of my life? Asking yourself questions like, what are the things that I've accomplished in life that I'm most proud of? What are the things that I've accomplished in life that I'm absolutely ashamed of? What are the relationships that I've built, and what has the quality of those relationships been like? What are the things that are really important to me? When you can begin answering those questions, you begin to build that foundation of what you want your life to be all about. So when you begin to define the things in life that are most important to you, then the second part of this equation is that you can now apply a filter to all the activity in your life. And that filter, based on what you've said is most important to you, will help you weed out all of the stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Let me tell you a quick story there. Several years ago, I was speaking to a group of business people, and the topic I was talking on was that of time management. And as I introduced myself when I was invited to come to the podium, I happened to mention that I was a life coach. And there was a gentleman sitting about 3 tables back from the podium, and he blurted out, you coaches, you don't know what you're doing. And then he caught himself and he said, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to say that. And I said, no, this is wonderful. And he looked at me and he said, what do you mean wonderful? I just criticized you. And I said, it's wonderful because it's an opportunity for everyone in this room to learn something today. And he said, okay. And I said, would you be willing to have a conversation with me for a few minutes? And he said, yeah, sure. And I said, obviously you have had a bad experience with a life coach. And he said, yes. And I said, would you please share with us your experience? And he said, well, this has been like 4 or 5 years ago. I hired this coach and worked with him for several months and spent multiple thousands of dollars with him. And you know what I wound up with? And I said, what? And he said, another to-do list from hell. He said, what do you have to say about that? And I looked him right in the eyes and I said, shame on your coach. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, those people who work with me wind up with a lot less to do on their to-do list. But the stuff that's on their to-do list is infinitely more important. My job as a life coach is not to give you more stuff to do. My job as a life coach is to help you get laser focused on what it is that you really want to achieve in life. And when that happens, your to-do list shrinks, but the stuff that's left on the list is infinitely more important. So you see, purpose is the beginning of the process to define where you want to go in life. And it's the first step to creating the unique future that you want. And that's why when you're facing a crisis in life, if you have built that foundation of purpose, you may have to knock out some of the walls in your house and make some changes, but the foundation is solid and it's not going anywhere. Thanks so much for taking the time to be with me today. If you found this video to be insightful, if you got some little nugget of gold that you can take and put to work in your life right away, will you please hit the like button and also take a moment to share in the comments what you learned from this video today, what you found valuable. Also, if this kind of content resonates with you, if you're interested in learning more about how to live a happy, successful, fulfilled life, hit subscribe, and that way you'll be notified anytime we publish new content. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you in the next video.